So you just got into a barbershop. That's what's up. Congratulations. Now, I remember my mentality when I first got into a barbershop, and honestly, it was a dog mentality. You have to have a dog mentality when you're in a barbershop. That means first one in, last one out, no exceptions. Even if you're just sitting there watching, you need to get those reps in, right? You need to take every client, every walk-in, you need to be greeting every person at that door, because you never know when someone will sit in your chair. I think it's very important. A lot of barbers nowadays, when they come out of barber school, they think things are just gonna happen. It's not like that. You have to be there, you have to show up, right? And showing up, that's not even enough anymore. You have to put yourself out there, you know? I was doing free haircuts, I was staying late. I was literally the first one in the shop and the last one out. I remember my shop used to close around 6, 7 p.m. and I was there till 10 p.m. in 2019, charging 15 bucks a cut. Like, I didn't care, I wanted to be there. And I wanted to take every cut no matter what. I was cutting walk-ins. Honestly, looking back, it was dangerous, but I had to do it because I wanted to get the reps in. When you're in a barbershop, the goal is to get as many clients as possible and make as much money as possible, right? You're just putting in those reps. It's like working out. You're building muscle, right? You have to have that breakthrough, right? You can't just be sitting around thinking it's just gonna happen. It's not. I remember when I was in the shop, I never shied away from any texture. You know, even the ones that really intimidated me, I did it. And even if I messed it up or botched the person, at least I got that rep in. Even if that person never came back to me, at least I put that rep in, right? And another important thing is shadowing people. If you're not cutting someone, you should be watching another barber in your shop. You know, especially if that person's good, you should be watching them. You should be gaining knowledge from them, or even watching YouTube videos. Or obviously, if you're watching this, you're in the academy, watching our academy videos. I truly think a barbershop builds character in a barber. And there's some dope barbers out here. You know, they go straight to a studio, which is dope. But for me, the barbershop really built my character. In the barbershop I was at, I would borrow stuff. I would always return it. People would borrow stuff from me, always return it. You have to have good ethics and good morals, right? That's why I said the barbershop really instills, a good barbershop really instills character in you, especially when the shop owner is honorable. It's very important to be in a shop where the owner is respected. A big thing in my barbershop that they actually taught me was that I needed to communicate with walk-ins. You know, I was the guy that was always silent, just locked in with the craft. A part of being a barber is communicating with your clients, with walk-ins, with other barbers, with the shop owner. You know, it's all about having good morals. Pay your booth rent on time. And if you're doing commission, show up on time. And when you're looking for a barbershop to work at, it's very important to scout. You guys need to scout the owners. Like I mentioned before, the root of a good barbershop is a good owner. If the owner is like just a slob, or he's not on time, he doesn't keep his word, what do you think the barbershop is gonna be like? It's gonna reflect, you know, on his barbershop. His character is gonna reflect. It's important, it's kind of like dating. Like, you wanna have some options. You don't just wanna call a shop and then just start working there as soon as they say yes. You wanna go there, hang out there for a few days. Ask if you can shadow someone. Pay for a haircut. Do whatever you gotta do to kind of get around that environment, introduce yourself to those barbers to really see if you can see yourself working there. Because you don't want your clients to have to go through you barbershop hopping. It's good for you to stay at one shop for an extended amount of time, right? Until you open your own or do your own thing or move to another shop. You don't want to be hopping around shops. That was annoying for barbers that I've even had in the past. They just kept moving shops, and it's like, yo, what's this guy's problem? You know, you seem unstable and you seem inconsistent in a way that you can't even stay at one spot. So that's why it's just so important to scout and to really choose wisely which barbershop you work at. And once you found a good barbershop and you're working at it and you're really developing your skill set and you've built a solid clientele, now it's time to start making content. It's time to start transitioning into that content phase. It's very important that you communicate with the owner, with your neighbors, your barbers that work next to you, that, you know, this is the stuff that you're gonna be purchasing. This is the stuff that you're now going to have in the shop, right? It's still the owner's shop. If the owner allows it, maybe a backdrop, but it's not necessary. But tripods, ring lights, you wanna make sure you have the necessary equipment to really take your haircuts to the next level and to showcase your haircuts and take your content to the next level. So if the shop owner is cool with that, take that step and lock in. And a saying that I like to always live by is that if you're not comfortable pulling out your camera, pulling out your phone and recording in a shop, I really don't think you have what it takes to do that when you're alone. I mean, maybe you can muster up the courage sometime in the future, but I truly believe it's very important to start while you're in a barbershop. You're gonna get stares, you're gonna get judged. People are gonna think like, who's this guy pulling out a tripod? I remember I was doing it at my shop and they used to call me the camera guy, the YouTuber guy, but it was all out of love. But I knew like, they thought I was doing too much, but it's a part of the game. I really had to take my stuff to the next level. And eventually it'll even rub off on some of your neighbors. Eventually they started recording, they started bringing in ring lights and I was like, oh, okay, so it's rubbing off on them, which is good. And a quote David just told me, embarrassment is the cost of entry. It's facts. Like I remember the first time I pulled out my camera, because I used to shoot with a camera, I was nervous. There were kids running around. I thought the kids were gonna knock the tripod down. I'm like, I'm about to just turn this off and just finish the cut. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna record this and I'm gonna get over this insecurity. It's needed. I need to make content in order to scale my business.